Game Time would be like, he left during the game. Dang it. We'll see Game Time lose like 1 unit and be like, yeah, guys, GG. Yep, didn't quite work. Just full game. Over here, though, on Terraform, like I was saying, we'll see if PiLiPiLi can manage to get out that quick third and secure it again. Up here in the top left-hand corner, representing himself on not on any current team, it is the Blue Protoss player, PiLiPiLi. In the bottom right-hand corner, the yellow Zerg player, it is GameTime. I don't know if GameTime currently has a team, and I accidentally closed it. Actually, I didn't close it. Let me look. GameTime is currently teamless, but you know what? He represents his country, the United States of America. So, always nice of him. Representing me too, I guess. I guess he represents also Hawkeye in his heart. So we should properly only want GameTime to win these games. But you know what? PiLiPiLi, even before all of these games started, I kind of pegged as, you know what, you're going to be able to move out in first place really, not easily, but pretty decisively. We'll see if that actually comes through. Or we'll see if that actually comes true. I guess through also works grammatically, but, you know, we will see. PiLiPiLi doing the gate fast expand again, and I assume it will be a gate fast expand, not just like a crazy, stupid, weird one-gate play. PiLiPiLi is very, very smart. He's streamed a lot and has really gotten a lot better mechanically wise. He's always very good at that through that streaming. And as I was saying recently, I think he decided he's going to stop streaming a little bit, and that hasn't really affected his play at all. I don't know if he's actually done that yet, but nevertheless, it hasn't stopped his play, and it's only benefited him early on. But now, from GameTime, we see a pool first, but it's just a pool first. It's not very aggressive. It's a pool and a hatch. He's playing it very safe. He's down a game in a best-of-3 series, so, yep, he's being straight up darn safe here, and PiLiPiLi is going to actually have a decent scout on him. One probe heading across the map should scout into the natural base of GameTime. Actually, I don't even know I wouldn't. That would be the awkwardest game ever. But it will scout into that. I'm imagining all the Bronze League things that can happen, like whenever I'm watching Husky whatever, I'm like, oh man, that's intense, that's intense. Like, oh, you're not in the bottom right, you must be a hacker. Oh, well, you forgot to fully scout me. Lings perfectly pop out and just decimate that probe. He gives his life truly to ire, but now this is a decent amount of Lings with that pool opener. It's not fully committed, but actually, did the natural base of PiLiPiLi get canceled? I think did he never start it? Whatever it was, PiLiPiLi actually has his rally point queued up to that natural base and should have taken it a little bit earlier if he did, so I assume he canceled it whatever after he saw these Lings coming out, and now he will kind of look to take it after getting his Zealot out. Mothership Core is also on the way, and this is much safer than Game 1 because these Lings are heading across the map. Now, there is no metabolic boost off the back of this. There is 6 Lings, and they may kind of want to... I was going to say just go around it and go up into the main and kill stuff, but you know what, never mind, doesn't really matter. Maybe get the pylon, but now since the Mothership Core is in the natural base, still no photon overcharges, they will get into the main base and pick up 1 or 2 kills here, and honestly, not that much of a commitment if they can get that, but probe their little particle beams, those kind of, all I can think of it is like static electricity from a carpet. That is essentially what a probe is to you. It's less than a Sentry's tickle cannon. Beautifully takes 0, no, did he get 3 there? Did he get 3 kills? I know he got 1 kill early on, so I guess actually he ended up getting 2 kills right there, even with the static electricity from those probes, but it did delay the natural of PiLiPiLi just slightly, not by too much, only by 3-ish supply, which is a little bit, was forced to get out of Mothership Core, that is PiLiPiLi, but now getting up 2 gates off the back of that and getting his economy up in his natural, GameTime's economy is going to be just slightly stunted in his natural base if PiLiPiLi decides to bank off of these gates he's throwing down with 3 gates and move into this. Stargate coming down for PiLiPiLi. An Oracle, most likely. Maybe a Phoenix here or there to pick off some Overlords. There are definitely 2 or 3 Overlords kind of in precarious positions around the map. Now, though, it looks like PiLiPiLi moving out in the bottom actual attack path. And maybe going to throw down a pylon something. Stargate is still not quite done. But like I was saying, still that probe in the bottom. Hopefully, we'll be able to throw down some pylons for the more aggressive out of these 3 gates. At least for now, though, PiLiPiLi, I mean, he's not adding any more gates on. He's just, those were the safety ones. He's not actually going to push out off of that. But with the Overlord of GameTime, it sees that it's the wall. It sees that 2 gateways are the wall. And for GameTime, I'm curious how he's going to react to that. He is pushing out a lot of roaches. And honestly, yes, he's got 8 drones at his natural, but that makes him even with his opponent. 26-28. Actually, PiLiPiLi is ahead by 3 workers. So right here, putting those gates as a wall, PiLiPiLi may trick Game Time into think he's going to be much more aggressive, but I mean, maybe he is. We'll see. Oracle coming out, Zealot's already done, and I love that Game Heart overlay, or at least how it looks on the units. They look so vibrant color-wise. Lings may be able to snipe this. I don't think PiLiPiLi is going to get back in time to actually defend it, and that may stunt this attack here. He could have got some damage done. The Roaches will be coming out for Game Time, just kind of searching for more pylons down here, but I mean, I guess PiLiPiLi holds right that position. The first Oracle is out, and it's actually going to be spotted by these Roaches, I think, beautifully. Game Time will have a little bit of a notion it's going to hit his main base. He's got a Queen, of course, in there, but maybe we'll see a Spore, something just extra for defense. And actually, there's enough Lings here. They may be able to surround to shut these units down. Hopefully, PiLiPiLi, I mean, I guess he could teleport home, but it's not going to be an issue here. The Oracle actually does focus down 3-4 workers in all, but for a couple seconds was working on the Queen, so won't quite get the most kills it could out of that, but will escape with just 7 health. Now on the other side of the map, though, PiLiPiLi is in a jam because the Zealots, they were taken out. Now there's only 2 sentries at home, putting all the gas into 2 Oracles, actually. Did the second Oracle actually come out? No, it did not. I think he canceled it. He did start off it earlier on, but now because of that, he's not going to have that much to defend here. Gateway goes down. Lings, Roaches flooding into the main base, and PiLiPiLi's actually out position. 46 army supply to only 15. PiLiPiLi does get out of Void Ray, which will be able to counter these Roaches, but now there may be I guess there can be a footed overcharge in the main, but this natural base will be focused down, and I think Game Time is going to go up to the main. Probes are being pulled to try to deal with this, but the Ling and the Roaches are just so much damage. They only take out 1 gate, 1 probe, but off the back of this, the entire army of PiLiPiLi is gone. Desperately, nothing is being warped in. He's putting everything into Void Rays, putting everything, all his hopes and dreams into something that maybe you can't quite attack, but the natural base will go down. Zealot's being warped in, a couple to kind of deal with it. Now, the entire economy is down. 13 workers of PiLiPiLi hit really hard. Funnily enough, that actually only evens up the 2 players worker-wise, 23 to 25, and no more attacks coming off the back of this, but now the natural base has been destroyed. So many minerals have gone into that defense, desperately trying to push out Zealots. PiLiPiLi desperately just trying to push out anything right here. PiLiPiLi is in a really sucky position. He would have had 6 Zealots if his 3 Zealots weren't taken out in the middle of the map, and that wouldn't have been enough to defend that, but that would have been enough to put into the army and do a very viable counterattack. In the main base, Game Time is doing a layer off the back of that, and just in a nice position. Funnily enough, as I was saying, they're actually, I guess Game Time now takes a lead worker-wise, but that only evened them up, killing 13. Total Game Time has killed 18 workers, but the Oracle of PiLiPiLi, surprisingly enough, got 7 itself. It is going back and forth, and now PiLiPiLi's been forced into a really awkward composition we have seen before, kind of the Void Ray Sentry, and it needs some gateway units to complement it. Obviously, we see PiLiPiLi moving out with a probe with this main army. And this, will it get it? Well, oh, it does go down. That probe will have to make a pylon before it finishes. Actually, this Lings may be able to get it. Oh, it doesn't quite do it, but now with all that gas commitment that Game Time had to do, he's not going to have that many Roaches back at home to defend. Hydra Den is still 10-15 seconds away, and PiLiPiLi is making a fantastic counterattack into this natural base. Desperately, Game Time is going to try to bank off that, but he only has 200 gas even in the first place. He's got a decent amount of minerals, though. We'll see how he deals with this. 3 Hydras, 4 Hydras on the way, a couple Lings, but there's so much here for PiLiPiLi. He's looking good. This natural base is at jeopardy and may indeed go down. Queens and drones desperately trying to get out of there. So far, you can see on the left-hand side, 11 workers killed, but GG! PiLiPiLi wins game 2, and I'm just thinking through it right there, and maybe it was a little bit more all-in than I thought with the Roach Ling attack that we saw out of Game Time right there. He didn't take a third off the back of that, stayed on 2 bases for a while. Whether it was what he thought was going to go in the beginning, that was 2-0, right, Hawkeye? I think it was 2-0. Yeah, that was 2-0. Whether he saw those gates, as I was mentioning in the beginning, and thought it was going to be gateway pressure, so stayed on 2, or just he had 25 minutes to go, just stayed on 2 the entire time. Still very all in at that point. And after, yes, he killed the natural. Not too many workers, though, with PiLiPiLi's macro, and then was relying off Hydras. Maybe if he kept going Roaches and just really hoped Spores and Queens would defend him, he could have done something about it. But in the end, 2-0, Pili